Ronnie? I said, well, is it hard? He said, yeah, it's hard. The last 3 quarters are pretty hard, right? The first question's easy. I said, well, let's do it, Ronnie. Let's do it. Did I ace it? I aced it. He said I aced it. Doc Ronnie from Texas.
Okay, that's Donald Trump speaking in West Palm Beach, talking about passing a dementia test once again, and he's saying how great it is that he passed it. You see the woman behind him like, what in the world are you talking about? Should be noted that the chyron on that right-wing broadcast network right there says Trump is ramping up Florida campaign. The polls between Donald Trump and President Biden in Florida are actually very, very close. I think as people in Florida who are close to him see his behavior, polls are getting very close there. I'll just say that. Then Donald Trump attacks Dr. Jill Biden for being at the trial of Hunter Biden. Obviously, Donald Trump is incredibly jealous that she would visit and be there for Hunter Biden, but that Melania and most of his family members were not there at his criminal trial, convicted felon Donald Trump's trial. Here, play this clip.
But then his wife flew back and forth like it was a taxi cab. It's Air Force One and or Air Force Two. I mean, just back and forth, back and forth. Let's go, sit at a trial for a day, go back, forth, back, forth. It's really terrible. But that's...
Then Donald Trump goes back to talking about passing a dementia test, but he refers to it as an aptitude test, IQ test, or a cognitive test, he says. Here, play this clip.
In fact, I think we should have, and I've called it, all presidents should have aptitude tests, IQ tests, or cognitive tests. Dr. Ronnie Jackson gave me one.
Then Donald Trump takes a piece of paper and starts reading The Snake, the story that he's been telling now for like 10 years. And just take a look at the chyron on Fox right here. Just shows you this, like, again, this is North Korean propaganda stuff right here. It says, welcome to the age of Trump, as he's trying to read the Snake poem. Here, play this clip.
And I'll take care of you. Take me in, O tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed the vicious snake.
Next, Donald Trump struggles to read the teleprompter and talks about regulations, having regulations, cutting regulation. Here, play this clip.
But we have regulation that nobody has ever cut regulations to the extent that I did. We had...
Donald Trump then talks about causing record inflation. Play the clip.
I gave you record tax cuts, record inflation was knocked out. We had inflation like you've never had it. And now...
Another part of Donald Trump's speech is lying about the crowd sizes. We know that in Wildwood, New Jersey, there was probably less than 10,000 people there. It's been uncovered that the MAGA mayor of Wildwood was claiming that there were 85,000 people in the entire city that day not attending the Trump event, but just let the Trump campaign lie and the media lets him get away with it. But Trump saying there's 107,000. He likes that 7 number. He says 68,000 people in Alabama, just to lie. Then 25,000 people in South Bronx. There was less than 3,000 people. Like, we actually have photographs of this, but this is what they do. They lie about the crowd sizes over and over again. Here, play this clip.
I said, who else can get crowds like I get? Nobody. 68,000 people in Alabama. 107,000 people in New Jersey 2 weeks ago. 107. 25,000 people in the South Bronx. And it was a love fest. It was a love fest. Now we get the biggest crowds in the history of politics. I hate to say it. And by the way, if it weren't true, there would be headlines. But
remember that number 7? Like, Donald Trump just has 7 in his mind, so he just, continues to lie about it. He goes, there's 77,000 vehicles in Afghanistan, 77. He just mumbles all of his numbers together. Look, Donald Trump's administration negotiated directly with the Taliban to free 5,000 Taliban prisoners. Mike Pompeo negotiated directly with the Taliban. They invited the Taliban to Camp David. Play this clip.
Fortunately, this fool left Afghanistan with $85 billion of brand new planes and tanks and even goggles, night goggles, 77,000 vehicles. Think of it. Who needs 77? If you took the largest used car lot in Florida, I'll bet they don't have more than 500 cars, maybe 700, maybe 1,000. 77 trucks and vehicles, many of them armor-plated, were left in Afghanistan.
Hey, Ben Meiselas here from the MeidasTouch Network. I hope you're enjoying that video. I just wanted to give you an update on some important news about the climate. I know it's something that we don't talk enough about on the MeidasTouch Network, and I always hear from you, Ben, can you just give some updates and focus on this very important issue? So I want to start doing that a little bit. So here's an update that I think is important. Did you know that young people across the country, thousands of them, are going to be starting jobs working for the American Climate Corps this month? President Biden's new climate jobs program is putting young people to work starting this summer. Jobs like firefighters, lawn busters, urban farm fellows, traditional ecological knowledge stewards, young people working on food security or energy conservation issues in cities. Other young people will be tackling invasive species and stream restoration on public land. Look, we talk a lot on the MeidasTouch Network about jobs, jobs, jobs. And when we can create new jobs and help the environment, that is a perfect match. So one of the places you can go to get more news on this, where I go to get more news on this, go to acc.gov. It's the official site for the American Climate Corps. If you're a young person or you know young people who may be interested in getting one of these types of jobs, have them just go to acc.gov. It's a great resource. So anyway, I hope you enjoy these climate updates. I'm going to be doing more of them, but let's go back to the video that you're currently watching. Let's play it. Then Donald Trump, and as I've said, they're going to start ramping up their attacks on CNN leading up to the debate. And ultimately, I think Trump backs out of the debate. But here, Donald Trump saying that CNN is doing very badly in the polls. CNN's poll numbers are not good, he says. Here, play the clip.
Accepted it, and I think Jake will be fair. Does everyone think he's going to be fair? Ronnie, no? You don't think so? He may, let's see. Look, he's got his reputation at stake. Got his reputation. And CNN has their reputation. You know, they're doing very badly in the polls. They're going to get big numbers here. But it's being actually sent out to all the networks, to every network. So it should be a big evening. They say Super Bowl numbers. So everyone's going to watch. You'll have to be screaming at your television set all night, I suspect.
Yeah, Donald Trump's speech is getting so unhinged that Fox cuts away from it. And then Laura Ingraham then starts to discuss what Trump is saying rather than just play it, because they know that this is just going off the rails very quickly. Watch this.
Trump, remember Hillary was saying he's going to cause a war.
All right, that's the president celebrating, wrapping up his huge birthday bash, 78 years.
Because then Donald Trump talks about putting a big, beautiful Iron Dome over our country. A big, beautiful Iron Dome. Here, play this clip.
It's all going to be made in the United States. We're going to have a big, beautiful Iron Dome over our country.
Donald Trump then says that any school that has a vaccine mandate at all will not receive any funding. Here, play this clip.
And I will not give 1 penny to any school that has a vaccine mandate or a mask mandate.
And today, a day where the United States Supreme Court, in a 6-3 decision, prevented any regulations at all on bump stocks, and is allowing bump stocks, weapons of war, to basically be freely distributed. Donald Trump says that he's going to uphold the Second Amendment fully, and he struggles to say the word uphold. Here, play the clip.
I will fully uphold the Second Amendment. So important. I will tell you, it's under siege. It's under siege, but we will uphold. We will protect innocent life, and we will restore free speech.
Donald Trump then says he forgets that Venezuela is in South America. Here, play this clip.
They're coming from countries all over the world, not just South America, but Venezuela.
Donald Trump then tells the audience that we don't need your vote because there's already enough votes. Here, play this clip.
I actually tell our people, we don't need your vote. We got so many votes, we don't need them. We just don't want to see votes stolen. We don't want to say, you know, steal the vote. We're not letting it happen. We're not going to let it happen. It's not happening again.
Donald Trump then attacks President Biden for being too energetic and flying back and forth between countries. Play the clip.
Dollars in waste. He is wasting hundreds of billions of dollars. Even Europe. Did you see? He flies back and forth and back and forth. He spends a day and then comes back.
To which President Biden's campaign posted, well, you know, some of us have jobs, Donald. And let me just share with you, this is from President Biden's speech at the G7 summit. Here's what President Biden said. Play this clip.
2.5 years ago, Putin unleashed a brutal war in Ukraine. And it's been a horrifying ordeal for the Ukrainian people. They're so brave and incredible. It's also been a test for the world. Would we stand with Ukraine? Would we stand for sovereignty, freedom, and against tyranny? The United States, the G7, and countries around the world have consistently answered the question by saying, yes, we will. We will say it again. Yes, again and again and again. We're going to stand with Ukraine. And thank you, and I now yield to my friend from Ukraine.
And just to show you the contrast as well, let me show you what President Biden also said about the conviction of Hunter. This is how an adult, someone who respects the rule of law and a real leader, addresses things, not all caps, ranting and raving and yelling. It's respecting law and order. Watch this.
I'm extremely proud of my son, Hunter. He has overcome an addiction. He's one of the brightest, most decent men I know. And I am satisfied that I'm not going to do anything. I said I abide by the jury decision, and I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
Well, there you have it, folks. Tell me what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million subscribers. Thanks to your support, I'm Ben Meiselas. This is the MeidasTouch Network. Have a great day.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up with news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.